This is WFO Radio.
Hello.
Hello.
Guess what? We're live.
It's already. I'm Elon Warner. Let me introduce myself.
Hi,
Who are
Elon.
you again?
I'm Jason Logan.
And this is what?
Life's a drag.
Live,
baby.
So anyone
you've
that
asked-
got the word,
Yeah.
we're going to go live at lunchtime.
Yep.
That's what we're going to do. So
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. You've asked, you've complained. We want you guys live. We want to hear your live takes. We want to be able to
be
comment.
live because we want to
Yes.
interact with you. Listen, Derek. This is live.
Welcome. Great seeing you this weekend. Yes, it was good seeing all of our fans. We have
Yes.
fans actually. I
Yes.
autographs. It's awesome.
Oh, you're signing autographs. I'm not signing autographs yet.
You will be. You will be.
Wow. All right. I already like for
welcome.
sure Rico's icon there, that little fighter jet. That's
that
cool.
was very cool. That little F-15 action right there.
Yeah,
Look at that.
That's something.
So welcome everybody to Life's a Drag. It's live. If you are on your thing, on your device, whatever, ring the bell, share, do whatever you got to do. Let everybody know we're on live because some people, you're oh my God, I'm so excited right now. I'm getting things happening. I got things moving and shaking. No, don't you kid. Somebody sending me text messages.
I mean, I would say, Mac, we call you guys dragsters, but that name may already be taken.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I just said.
She said we need a fan base nickname, and I said you guys could call each other dragsters, but that name may already be taken.
That
I don't know.
Should go.
I don't know. RuPaul may already have that under contract.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should definitely have people in that world.
All right.
We'll figure something out.
Yes. So, Jason, we just wrapped up 2 races back to back in the Great Northwest.
And the weather was unbelievable.
So you're back in Orlando. I'm back in Dallas. And let me tell you, it's hot.
It is super hot. Like Tampa, which is like 60 miles away, 70 miles away on the West Coast, they have had they hit 100 degrees for the first time ever. We're at 100 degrees consistently this week, and it feels like 110. And so yeah, I'm like all congested from the flights, from travel. I mean, I'm trying to get reacclimated to East Coast time here still. So yeah.
So yeah, it's hot. It's hot in Texas too. So, but it was super nice in Sonoma, and
beautiful.
Lots going on in that wine country. So I think I wore a quarter zip almost all day, every day from Thursday through Sunday. There was an hour in the middle of the day where I took it off to walk around.
So I know that the coldest I've ever been is a July Friday night in Sonoma, California. And it was Friday night got down to, I believe, in the 50s with the wind and everything. So I brought the big jacket because I knew I was going to be cold, and I was still freezing in that thing. I needed a quarter zip underneath it.
And you were rewarded on Friday night with 343.
So let's go back and let's kind of talk about this because Joe was talking about this with Galvin yesterday on his show.
Right.
On Friday night, so everybody knew Friday night. Friday night's the big one.
It was going to be monster.
The weather, the everything that was going on, and getting ready to go. We all saw it. We knew it was coming. I don't think anybody knew 343 was coming.
No,
but
you knew something was coming.
Something was coming to the point where Fox did not have a TV show they needed to produce, so they decided they were going to come out with because we've been going live to social throughout the whole season,
right? Which is so great.
Yeah, which is cool. So you guys can, those of you who complain, I don't want to have .tv because it costs so much money. You can watch it free on YouTube on Friday nights. And I'm pretty sure that's going to happen in Brainerd. I'm pretty sure it's going to definitely happen in Indy because that's where we started it last year. So you can watch, qualifying and, live racing on Friday nights. So they did, it was all hands on deck.
It was spectacular.
They threw every announcer they had in the world at this thing. And not that I'm saying I'm an announcer. They don't involve me in this stuff because when I play music, I have to play, non-licensed music,
non-licensed stuff. But
which
there were people all over the property. Like, it was so cool that they're throwing stuff from the announcer deck to the top end, to the starting line, to the staging lanes, to the pits. It was just
it was awesome. And
it was like a mega cast.
It totally was. You had Courtney and Jordan Vandergriff in the pits. You had Galvin on the starting line, and you had Freiberger at the top end. Which, again, I think Freiberger might have.
Freiberger's so great.
He did. That was his best appearance yet.
Yeah.
And then you throw Joe, Tony, and Brian, which those three are great in the booth.
Right.
And so it was, and they threw it around like it was like a NASCAR event, or any other like major sporting event.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not going to do anything during this stuff. I just sit back and I watch. And I totally was watching, and I was just like, dude, this is good. I can't believe, wow, that was a great ad. This is awesome.
It was just the ability to get all the different viewpoints and just how much kind of went into it as far as the announcers knowing kind of what their lane was, with Freiberger kind of throwing his stuff in. Like, the behind the scenes stuff is all those people have completely different skill sets and experiences, and it really brought out all their great nuggets. And we need more of that. And, we kind of caught lightning in a bottle, like you said. We didn't have a Fox show, but we had all the Fox assets, all the people. But I just thought it was really, really cool, and it really enhanced the broadcast. And then you get Brittany Force running 343, which just blew everything away. Like, skips right over 342.
Right.
Just, I think that was just a monster number, which immediately, since drag racing fans are so greedy, 343 was great, but immediately the conversation turned to, when are we going to run 345?
Right.
Like, okay, this is great, but now 345 is in play.
Which, when I saw 343, and it's just every time that Doug Coletta and Brittany run at night like that, now you have to stop what you're doing. You have to watch. Because at the beginning of the round, I'm just like, okay, whatever, who cares? We're moving on. But with those guys, and when Austin Prock gets up there, you got to stop what you're doing. You have to watch.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, when Galvin interviewed John Force at the starting line, I mean, he said, what do you think about that? He goes, makes me nervous, and it made me nervous. I was like, 340. That's unbelievable.
Right.
That's just crazy.
It's like we're getting these tune-in moments. It's like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa home run record chase, like a perfect game. You're like, okay, these guys are coming up. I need to stop what I'm doing because they have the real possibility to do something spectacular. And Austin Prock running 340 in the first round of eliminations on Sunday was just another monster run. And I think, there could be opportunities in Brainerd. Brainerd Friday night conditions are pretty good. That's a pretty good track. Or Sunday morning if we can get things line up. I don't know that you're going to see that in Indy, but I mean, you get in these countdown races, the end of the season could be crazy.
Well, and that's where I think, I know Friday night's the home run night, especially with weather conditions like that. And some people, try and go for it, but they just aren't set up for it. They just don't. And so you're like, oh, spin the tires. Oh, here we go. Another one of those nights. I'm freezing. Let's get this thing moving and shaking. And, at some point in time, people are going to say, all right, we just got to go A to B. We just got to put 335 down or, just to get in the show. And then let's see what happens. Because Sunday, for Austin Prock to go 340 on Sunday morning, the weather was still decent. The marine layer hadn't fully gone away yet. But, I mean, for him to drop that hammer on Sunday morning, I was like, come on, man. You just got to get down the track.
Right. But Sonoma, the performance of Sonoma is always so great. But then the other thing I love about Sonoma is the wine and a lot of the pre-race activities, which there was a ton of.
I didn't get there until Thursday, and I didn't get into like 5:30 because my flight was delayed leaving Phoenix. But yeah, because I wanted to go to they had the Three Fat Guys Winery deal.
Winery deal. The great Allison McCormick pulls that together, and it's always spectacular. The fact that the drivers and Joe Costello this year made their own wine blends, and it is not for the faint of heart. Like Joe was really mad. He made a really great wine, but then he lost all these points because they grade like they had him design their own logo, like their labels and their names and their backstories. And so Joe got tossed out for a bunch of stuff unrelated to the taste of his wine. So he's a little bitter about that.
Yeah, they grade that thing on everything. The label, the description. Yeah. So they get real serious with that.
You have to sell it. You have to sell it. And, and then the night before that, I mean, Caps had a busy pre-race because he did that. But then he and Antron did the Russian River Brewery on Wednesday night, which is always a good time. Done that the last 3 or 4 years. And I got to whip his ass about being Ron Caps a little bit. Right. Saw AB. That's where that picture came from. The great Abby Warner got that because she knows I'm a massive Caps fan. So I immediately put that picture of Caps fake kissing me into my family's aura frame. So it just cycles through now. So I can just kind of see that. It's all the family pics and there's pictures of me and Caps.
I love it.
That's not weird at all.
Not at all.
I mean, I believe I've made my fandom of Ron Caps very, very clear. So, and
everyone should have that same level of fandom.
Yeah.
So Henry G says, seems like all fuel categories are one at the tree. Your thoughts?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, you got guys like Justin Ashley winning races on hole shots. Spencer Hyde's getting better on the tree. You got, I mean, I think that's part of the package is, drivers are making a difference. Sean Langdon's winning, all the guys that have been historically good, everyone has to bring your A game because if it's not a total package, you're going to get put on the trailer pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Yeah. And, Tony Stewart's figured out that car, his lights. He went out the first round for the first time.
First time ever. Season. Josh Hart got his revenge from Seattle where he lost on a little bit of hole shot, and he was ready. He was ready for that race. I think he had like a 50 light. Yeah. And, if you don't think these guys hate to lose on hole shots, there's not guys that they want to beat. Josh Hart was pretty fired up to end. I knew Tony Stewart had a pretty good streak going of first round wins. I hadn't realized that he hadn't lost in the first round all season.
Yeah, I hadn't. That was a weird number for me.
He and Josh for a while were the best. Like 8 races into the season, Josh had only lost 1 time in the first round, and I guess Tony was undefeated, obviously. But Josh is great in the first round. He just needs to get over that second round hump a little bit. And that's why they're doing Night Under Fire. We'll talk about that later. But I think there's so many good cars out there that, like, basically Josh ran into Doug Coletta in the second round. And, track conditions changed a little bit. He overpowered the track. But Doug goes on to win the race. I mean, there's no shame in losing to the guy that eventually wins the race in my book.
Right, 100%. Yeah. Overall, those races were great. Before we wrap up the whole Western swing, Memphis Lonnie, this guy, look at this guy. Okay, fellas, NHRA didn't do ticket renewals in either Sonoma or Seattle. Can you tell us about the next year's races at those 2 tracks? Memphis Lonnie's coming up with some
the hardballs, and I think, let's take them in order. Seattle,
right?
Jason, whose last name always escapes me, had
Fiorito.
Was very open about the struggles of getting guys. He doesn't like having short fields, and I agree with him. It just is not a good look. If you're going to say you're going to be a professional racer, let's go to all the races. You know what the schedule is. So he doesn't like the short fields, but he's got a great sponsor. So I think Muckleshoot loves the race, sees huge benefit of it. And they're trying some things in Seattle. So I'm hopeful that Seattle comes back. I mean, it's some of these races are year to year, some are 2-year deals. But I think, Jason has the road course option and he's got the drag racing option. I think he just has a huge passion for drag racing.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think listen, Elon and I know what's going on. All right. Well, I'm not going to tell you everything we know, though, because that's not for us to tell. But Jason Fiorito, was telling everybody at the track what was going on. So we'll tell you all about Seattle because he in the media center, I heard him talking for
almost an hour.
45, like almost an hour. I'm like, oh my God, you and I both were sitting there listening to him talk. And to Susan Wade, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's just talking. And it just airing it out. And I was like, okay. So you can find everything Jason was talking about in someplace else. Just out here.
Competition Plus, check it out.
Yeah,
Sonoma. I agree with you, Memphis Lonnie. It was curious that they didn't do ticket renewals. There was like this vibe that something was up, but I don't know what that something is. That I can tell you for a fact, everybody loves going there. They do a huge sponsor summit. I think they had 100 sponsors at the race.
Listen, they had some heavy hitters at this race with at the sponsor summit. I mean, I was told to be on my best behavior. Right. I was told if you see a group of people that you don't know around people that you do know, don't go over there and talk to them because you do not need to be involved. I mean, like the sponsor summit this year, the people that were there could definitely make could shake up this entire NHRA landscape.
The only sponsor summit that was bigger than the sponsor summit for Sonoma was when Coletta got all their sponsors together. They do a kick-ass B2B deal around Norwalk, and they had all their sponsors in the same room. And it was like the companies there basically had $1 trillion worth of annual revenue. I mean, so Sonoma is an amazing track. It's an SMI track. But I will say this is not breaking news. Bruton Smith loved drag racing. He loved it. He loved John Force. He loved Greg Anderson. He loved four-wide racing, all that stuff. Marcus Smith does not have the same love for the sport.
Hence the reason why he tore down the tower in Sonoma with it was blocking his turn 11.
Yeah, they wanted to have more hospitality.
He just knocked that tower down. Like, thanks, man.
Which every ballpark does that. They'll take out a whole section of grandstands to put more suites in.
Right.
But, so I think Sonoma was curious, but there's so much love for that track and they do so much that, we can't look into a crystal ball, but it was curious. They didn't do ticket renewals. But the fact that they do all their sponsor stuff there, it's an amazing facility. And the fans were so, I think it was the most reactive group of fans. Like it was college football level.
It was.
Like they were standing up for top. They were standing up when guys pulled up. Like when Brittany ran 343, there was a roar of the crowd. Like when Matt Smith won the Getrex Pro Stock motorcycle race, there was a roar of, at first there was like this huge gasp because my buddy Richard Gadsden red lit by 1,000th of a second.
Right.
In that final. 1,000th of a second away from winning everything that weekend. He was number one qualifier. He won the race, but he missed getting the Getrex deal by goes red by 1,000th of a second.
Dragster Jeff Kreider, did they run out of giveaway rings? No, they did not. They
did not run out of giveaway rings. They'll still have those, and they are amazing. But also, a fun fact about the giveaways: you heard about what happened at Norwalk, right?
What do you?
In Norwalk, they did run out of the tickets. You can buy the ring, or you can buy the commemorative ticket. And there was some miscommunication in Norwalk that if you did renew in Norwalk,
you got your ring, ticket.
They gave you the ticket.
He gave all of that stuff away.
And they basically ran out of tickets, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is so great! We sold all these tickets." And then someone was like, "Oh yeah, we weren't selling those. I thought we were supposed to give them away when you bought the ring."
Yeah.
So if you're lucky enough to go to Norwalk, which is why you need to go to a lot of races and try to renew your tickets, because you never know what you're going to get. You could get those people got an extra $20 value.
Right. But back to the fans and Sonoma. Dude, I played Hulk Hogan's walk-up music.
Yes.
I played Ozzy. I played a ton of Ozzy.
Pour one out for Hulk Hogan. Pour one out for Ozzy.
Pour one out for Hulk Hogan. When I played that, you could hear people singing I am American hero. Dude, I was like, people were just they were into it from the very beginning to the very end, and for that, Bristol, you are now knocked off the top of the ladder. Sonoma is number one. Fans
Sonoma
are
number one for fans. The interaction now, they're number one for fans, but they are number 1 millionth for cost of concession food.
I got a patty melt, which was unbelievable. I was starving on Saturday and Saturday morning, and I didn't stop to get any food. It was $21 for this patty melt. Everything was $20.
Jason did not do his Seattle smorgasbord of eating calzones and scones and corn dogs. On Sunday, they ran out of food in the media center very quickly. I don't know what happened there. So I went and got Werner Communications team. I thought, let's get some cheeseburgers and French fries. Pretty straightforward. So they had, I'm sure there may have been a concession stand underneath the grandstands, but there were just so many people underneath there. I didn't want to go underneath there. So I was down like food court row where all the food trucks are. And I found one that was called Bacon Mania.
Oh, wow.
Probably a subsidiary of Logan Mania. I'm not sure, but it was bacon smash burgers with real bacon, and then they looked really good with secret sauce and then French fries. So 2 double patty smash burgers and 2 orders of fries was $62.
Jesus. It's just too much.
And I came back in the press room and I set it down and I was like, take a look at this. 2 burgers. Now, granted, they had bacon on them.
Yeah, the bacon.
And 2 orders of fries. And the fries were good.
Yeah.
But $62.
$18 corn dog. Yep, that's what happened. Jason Deerdorf, our security guy, he got one of those big old corn dogs, and he was like, "I'm not gonna eat all this." And he goes, "You want it?" I go, "I'll take half for free." Scott Malpass, there you go, some bacon out there. And hands down, best food value at the track is the Tater Tot truck in Maple Grove. Race Guitar, you were 100%. Their fries and Maple Grove over the top.
Yeah,
so good.
Or the best value is to hang around Jason by the NHRA stage with Hannah and just talk up the people in hopes of getting free food.
Then that's what happens. That's what we do. They were not happy with the stage setup where we were. So they're going to do some movement of that thing and look into that. But thank you guys, everybody, for coming out to the stage and seeing us. Elon and Courtney did their thing on Monday or Sunday morning. We had Buddy. Go ahead.
Real quick, Mission Foods autograph session for Too Fast, Too Tasty on Saturday morning at 8:45.
It's a little early for me.
Little early. But there were people were like, "Oh, this is so early, 8:45. What are we doing?" There were 50 people in line when the drivers started showing up.
Yeah,
they were there for it. The fans were there for everything.
They were, and that's why they're number one right now, because they just showed up and they had a good time and they sat in line. In fact, hold on, let me go back and there's a lady who Joe and I talked to. Let's find her little comment. There we go, Lisa. I enjoyed our conversation, Jason and Joe. Thank you for steering me to Matt Hagen for his video he did for our sick friend, the girl whose daddy raced in 1968. Love your love your podcast. She came up and just was like, "Oh my God, I love you guys." And she started talking and she goes, "When's your podcast on, Jason?" So it's fun how everybody knows who we are.
Right.
You see the Joe Costello WFO old school fans that wear their old school, wide F and open shirts. Everybody's
Love
out
those.
there. I do have some pictures of Joe sent me of.
And did you see the line of people to go out on the track Sunday morning?
That was a bunch.
I hit that line so hard with my Drag Race Bracket Bonanza QR codes and decals. It was perfect because they were standing there for 20 minutes, and I literally went through all my handouts. Hey, while you're waiting here, fill out the brackets. This is the perfect way to do this. You got some time on your hands. Scan the QR code.
Yeah,
we had a big weekend for Bracket Bonanza, which was awesome, and the drivers signed. They got some good plaques this weekend. They so fan outfits. They are not in their. Our show is supposed to be PG-13, but there were some of them that were.
Well, that's my favorite thing.
I guess you can say the F word one time on a PG-13 movie, but some of these T-shirts Wow.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite stuff, though, is just to like, point out people's clothing because listen, you're the one who made the choice, so now you
Yeah.
have to own it. Yeah, you
But
got to own it.
some of the T-shirts I saw in the kids only autograph session that I took pictures of, that I was just like, "Hey, man."
I love the I heart junior mom shirt, and
Yes.
I love when kids wear that shirt because that's what,
Yeah.
they're
That's very
missing
nice.
that
That's very
point.
sweet.
Yeah,
That's very
I'm
sweet.
glad you love your mom, but that's really not what it's talking about, or that's not what I'm picking up from it. But yeah, so it was good. It's always good to see the fans out there, and again, everybody, feel free to come yell at us too. I mean, if you
Right.
see us at the track, just go, "Oh my God!" Just come, stop. If we're doing something, we don't care. We will stop and talk to you.
We will stop and talk to you. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your comments.
Yeah.
And we'll take them all with a grain of salt. Obviously, we're working in more racing. We're trying to be less of the view, but we are going to, coming up on the back half, we are going to get into some non-racing discussions.
Yeah. Listen, again, you get some racing at this show, but you're also going to get the flavor of everything that's going on. And, but yeah, so I think we've covered everything from Sonoma, the Western Swing.
I also do want to do a little damage control. We brought sweet Don Perdome into the press room. And
you're going to stand up for him now? What are you going to do?
No, I'm not. He had some hot sports opinions, and he realized kind of the error of his ways, and kind of spent the next day kind of backtracking a little bit. But that's the great thing about drag racing, is just generationally, there's just different views, and the sport has changed, and so many people are excited to see Maddie Gordon out here and Caps and giving back and all this stuff. And I think Perdome just kind of got lost in his thoughts a little bit. But I love Don Perdome. He's a national treasure. Of course,
he is. He's the coolest guy on the planet.
But he's got some, he brought the heat, and it was spectacular.
He comes from a different era. This era, we can't really.
But his opinion, the opinions he threw out were trash. But then he realized this is kind of a crappy thing to say. This is really what I meant to say.
Right. Yeah. Again, you get put on the spot, and you don't know what people are asking, and also like. I was talking with the sportsman racer in the airport. They were talking about, we got to get more love for the sportsman racers, and kind of going down that road. And I was like, we were talking about, and this is I don't know, we're going to go down a whole nother road, but this might be the fundamental problem with our fans and with sportsman racers and everything like that. Because everybody, when I hear people complain about the NHRA, man, back in the 80s and early 90s, it used to be like this. And, back then we used to do it like this. That's what everybody is back in the Winston Cup days.
Right.
When we had money coming out of our ears for anything and everything.
Yeah.
Those days are long gone.
And that was for everybody. The only sport that still has money just falling out of the sky is the NFL.
Right.
That's it. But
I mean, NASCAR has fallen back, but it's like, stop living in the old days. We have to look forward. And everybody bitches and moans. Oh, the NHRA does this and that. And I'm like, listen, these guys are trying every week. People aren't just sitting there counting their money.
They're not doing that. And the other thing, just the one thing which we'll put a button on this is, sadly, the Lucas Oil Series is not a feeder series to the Mission Foods Drag Racing Series.
Right.
It's just it's another series. It does give you experience, but it's not. If it was, there would be a Tony Stewart Racing Mission Foods team, and then there would be Tony Stewart Racing teams in the Lucas Oil Series, or the closest thing we have now is Caps, truly treating it like a feeder series, because he went and grabbed Maddie Gordon. She's still racing in that series, and then she's going to come up to the Mission Food Series.
Yeah.
So Caps is treating it like a feeder series, but most people do not do that. That's not really truly driver development.
Yeah, and going back to the Perdome thing, it's like, listen, Don Perdome raced in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? He's what started this whole thing. Back
when
then,
they were fist fighting.
Right.
And
the culture was different. Everything was different back then. So you can kind of, I don't want to say give the guy a pass for what he said in the media room, but now you've got sponsors that are so everyone's touchy feely, everyone's a little nervous, and everyone's we don't have 45-minute oil downs all the time anymore. We are moving and shaking. We're kind of getting things going. We don't want fans to be stuck in the fans from 8 a.m. till midnight. It's like we got to get people in and out of here.
And you run on a schedule, a promoted schedule that you're going to see Top Fuel at noon and 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So for everybody that doesn't think the NHRA knows what they're talking about, there are smart people that are doing things in unbelievable circumstances with like one hand behind their back, and they've got and another foot chopped off. It's tough. They don't have as much money as you think they have. Just saying right now. So just remember and just stop saying back in the old days. We're never going back to the old days.
No. We're not.
We're in 2025, and this is where it's going. Look at the climate of the world, and we have to fit within it.
Perfect. All right, let's try to make some money.
Yeah, let's do that. Here we go. Let's check out these guys.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
Looking to replace your OEM diesel particulate filter or diesel oxidation catalyst? Look no further than DPF XFit, a complete line of aftermarket diesel particulate filters and diesel oxidation catalysts designed as an exact fit OEM replacement with all makes coverage for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks. With thousands of units in stock, we ship the same or next day, and be sure to check out our comprehensive reverse OEM lookup tool. Always new, never remanufactured. For more information, be sure to visit dpfxfit.com. That's DPFXFit.
The number one source of friction in your engine is not what you think. Piston rings rubbing against the cylinder walls generate more friction than any other part of the engine. More friction and temperature means more wear and less horsepower. Fortunately, the team at Total Seal knows how to reduce friction and wear through innovative piston ring design. If it takes a piston, Total Seal can build a better ring.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Redline Oil, formulated to win.
Formulated to win.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, so yeah, sorry for getting on a soapbox there. I apologize, everybody.
Okay. Can we touch one last Sonoma base, which of course, fond memories of Sonoma is when this is our little JFR story time. We're going to try to do a little JFR story time when we come back from the breaks.
Okay.
Is many years ago, Sonoma used to do this kick-ass media tour where they literally brought John into town. Like, this is before the Mile High Nationals, like when we had the true Western swing. We flew to Sonoma on the Wednesday before Denver, did all-day media with Force, like 12 hours with John. Flew back to Denver Wednesday night, and on our way from the Denver airport to our hotel, John and I got into an argument about how to go to our hotel, the Hampton Inn in wherever we were staying, because Kelly Antonelli, who was the main sponsor person, had printed out directions for John, printed out everything for him. And
yeah, this is pre Waze and all that stuff, right?
This is pre-Waze. This is, but we still had, but I went a different way. So I drove past the Wadsworth exit, and John was like, I think you're supposed to get off there. Kelly's directions say you get off there. And I was like, I know, I'm just going to go a different way. And he kept on me about, hey, I think we should turn around and go, So I literally got so mad. I was so exhausted. I'd been with him for 14 hours that I stopped the car on the highway. And I was like, do you just want to drive? And he was like, no. And then he kind of crosses his arms and sat there and didn't say a word.
He pouted like a little kid.
Yes, the whole rest of the way to the hotel. So I drop him off, and then I go and park. And I waited a little while because I figured he'd go up to his room. Nope, come in the hotel lobby. He's waiting for me. And he's like, what time do we have to be at the Gates Belt appearance tomorrow? And I was like, 10 o'clock. He's like, meet here at 9 o'clock. And I was like, okay. So I'm down there at 9, have the car pulled up. We get in there, and he's like, now you listen to me. And he basically reverse engineered and drove us back to the original, like where he wanted to come to the hotel.
Right.
And I have directions on my phone that say like my arrival time at Gates was like 9:50 for our 10 o'clock appearance. But because he had us go this way, I'm watching my arrival time at Gates go from 9:50 to 9:55 to 10:02. So now I'm like beating the clock, and we're just hauling ass to downtown Denver. We get there, double park, get out, go in. I'm getting stink eye from Kelly for being late. Robert's giving me like, everybody's there. We go up. There's like 200 Gates people in this big room. And he goes, hey, by the way, he goes, I need Elon, stand up in the back. And has me stand up. And then he tells the whole story about how I yelled at him in the car the night before. So now everybody in the room is just like, well, you're an asshole.
Right, yeah. Who do you
Why
think
in the
you
world
are?
would you yell at John, sweet John Force? He's the greatest thing ever.
Not knowing what goes on behind the scenes. Yeah, I got to imagine he's got to be the most difficult person to work for. So, listen, super nice guy, sweet guy, but he gets things caught in his head.
Yes.
And I've seen it. I've interviewed him in like the race, the Top Eliminator Club. You ask him a question, and he'll talk for 45 minutes around the question, the answer to the question. What was your question again? Did I answer it? I'm like, what? He's got to
super
lose his
particular.
mind.
And then I had to manage the autograph line for all these people, and like everybody coming through the autograph line is just like looking at me like, I cannot believe he hasn't fired you. Like if I catch you on the street after this appearance, I'm gonna murder you. Like John Force is the greatest guy ever. Yeah, he just again. He's just very set in his ways, and he likes the structure. And if he gets like when we traveled, everybody stayed together, like as a whole unit. Like we're all there together. So it was So that's like my fond memory. Like every time I fly into SFO, I just like think about that day that I flew and then went up to San Francisco for a full day. We did Fisherman's Wharf. We did everything.
Because does he even like I'm sure you give him like an itinerary or something.
Oh yeah, he has the full.
And I was just saying, he probably looks at it and goes, "Okay, whatever. I've got Elon. Elon will take care of it."
Yeah, like every racer that gets a schedule, they look at it, and then they just dismiss it. And then you're like reminding them, like, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about this." And after 4 or 5 hours, they're kind of over it, even though they agreed to it. Then you really have to go into management, like, "Hey, okay. Let's get some coffee in you. Let's get some chocolate. Let's just try to just grind through this deal." So it was wild times. It's always so much fun, but also there's just times that you're like standing there going,
there's stress involved. He causes undue stress probably.
But it was great. Like he did so many things, Night Under Fire's coming up this weekend.
Right.
I have an amazing experience with him at Night Under Fire where he cracked the side window on his funny car, and we would sell stuff. Like it was, I bet drivers that teams used to do Night Under Fire, they would probably make as much selling souvenirs at Night Under Fire as they did at 6 NHRA races.
Oh yeah.
Because we would just sell used parts and stuff. He cracked the side window of his funny car on a run, and they were about to throw it away. And I was like, "Hey, I can sell that to a fan at the ropes." And he was like, "What do you think you can get for it?" And I was like, "I bet I can get at least $200. And he's like, "Okay." So he signed it, John Force, Night Under Fire, whatever, 2009 or whatever year it was. And I start walking up to his ropes, and it's just a sea of humanity. I mean, it is 20 people deep. And I'm walking up with this, and I was like, "Hey, John just broke this now, and I want to sell it." And a guy just looks at me and goes, "I'll give you $500 for that right now." And he just pulls out a big old wad and just peels off $500 bills. And I go and I give him the window, And then I go back to Forrest, and Forrest is like, "Man, you're back already?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "What'd you sell it for?" I go, 200.
There you go.
I told him I sold it for 500, and we split the money.
I'm blown away that people want used parts. I
yeah.
get the autograph. I get that. That I get 100%. But blower belt. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah,
that's just gonna sit in your garage and do nothing.
We had a guy at that race ask for a Robert Height signed piston, and I went back to Eric Frampton, who was in charge of all that, and they actually were out of Robert Height signed piston heads.
Right.
So he's like, and I was like, "Oh man, okay." And he's like, "Oh, wait a second." So he gets some brake clean. Grabs a John Force autograph piston, sprays brake clean on it, erases the John Force autograph.
Oh my God.
Lets it dry, and has me take it over to Robert to sign it. And I was like, "What are you doing, man?" I go, "You erase a John Force signature like that, an angel loses its wings. You can't do that."
Can't do it. No,
but
you can't.
We did.
All right,
so Night Under Fire, Norwalk. Have you ever been to this event?
No, I heard. Listen, when we were in Norwalk, I heard the division director told me, he was like, "Listen, man, because unlike Sonoma, they're a fickle bunch in Norwalk.
Yes.
And they've been trained to be that way by Bill Bader with this Night Under Fire. Like we have a our schedule can fluctuate. We're doing this, that. Bill Bader has a schedule, and it's like, we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. It's one night. And so they're trained to see a show as opposed to competition.
And it is a banger show. It is jet cars. It is alcohol cars. It's Top Fuel dragsters. It's funny cars. It's monster trucks. They've had guys come out of coffins before.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They used to do like the huge, like the 1/16th scale diecast when they used to make those, the ones that are like
right,
or 1/8 scale. I don't even know they're just like massive. But yeah, they do $150,000 fireworks show at the end of Night Under Fire.
Yeah, I really want to go see that because and I heard I heard it's designed to be like maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it usually, like, the drivers don't get back to their pits until like after midnight.
Yeah,
because they bring all the cars out on the track, and you're not getting out of there.
You basically, if you're a fan and you've been there multiple times, you've seen the fireworks. Kind of once you've seen fireworks, if you don't leave before, like if you're not in your car before the final nitro pair, then you're basically there for another 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
because there's so many people. But it is, I brought a writer from Parade Magazine to that event, this lady named Nancy Burke. And I said, "This is the most Americana drag racing slice of America event." And she came and she wrote a whole article for Parade Magazine.
Wow.
Just about Night Under Fire with the race cars and the drag racing and the families and the fireworks and the corn dogs and the whole, it was like, you basically heard like the Don Cheadle character from Ocean's 11, the stunt guy, or Ocean's 12, just it's the most American thing ever. Right. So if you're in the area, go to Night Under Fire. Josh Hart's going to be there. I don't know if Caps is going to be there or Antron, but they always have like great drivers. They test during the day, so you see them making runs, and then the show is spectacular. 10 out of 10. Yeah,
he's definitely our PT Barnum out there. He does a really good job.
I see some people throwing some NHRA comments in there.
Yeah, and get into this. You want to get into this for 5 seconds? I'll go down a rabbit hole. NHRA is free to watch all weekend. Beats the hell out of 160 to watch. Okay. Yeah, more drivers are going to go back. By the way, how much was an NHRA ticket? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know what that is.
But you can see. And again, it's not $160 to watch one race. It's less than $10 to watch a race.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me
races,
it's 20 races for 160. Plus you get all the stuff. Plus you can go back and look at it. So, I don't think you can compare.
Thanks, Mac.
Yeah. $1,000.
I was like, wow, I don't know what
you get to take Scott Palmer's tires with you when you leave.
Right. Mac was at the NHRA race this past week as a media member, and it was a really good event. I enjoyed the trackside band and the big screens all around the pits. Okay, that's good.
I think
Very
those are
nice.
all. I think they are all making positive things. More drag racing is better than less drag racing.
Yes, 1,000%.
But I think they've got a ways to go before they're going to get top tier. Not if they're going to get full-time NHRA guys to go over there. Because I don't mean to say that Lex June and Scott Palmer and Krista Baldwin and Del Worsham are not top tier. They're not the same level of performance as Brittany Force and Tony Stewart. But I think the more opportunity you get people to see Nitro, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So
and listen, and I saw some of their show, some highlights and some. It sounded like it got better. And listen, the more reps you take, the better it's going to get.
I go back and look at Talking Funny Car with Buddy Hull, which we filmed some in Sonoma. We'll have season 2 at the end of this year. The first Talking Funny Car with Buddy Hull and the last Talking Funny Car with Buddy Hull, miles different. So getting better is way cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to shit on the NHRA.
No.
I'm just here to crap on people that are like, NHRA is making a comeback and it's going to be better than the NHRA by Thanksgiving.
Right.
No.
Max says, I think,
75th year.
Yeah, I think competition between the sanctioning bodies is good for the sport as a whole. I really don't think there's a competition. I don't think there's a competition.
Yeah. No.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, okay, the NHRA has their rules, and IHRA is going to go completely opposite of those rules? No,
right?
It's all going to be the same. Safety. It's really going to look. I think it's going to be. Hey, this is what our show looks like. This is what your show looks like.
Right. And I hope we get to a point where you can have a kind of match race where you can take the IHRA world champion and race him against the Mission Foods world champion in Top Fuel or Funny Car, and that's a thing.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. So I think we're kind of heading that way. So can we now shift over for the last little bit of the show to the view portion? If you're tired of if you're not here, if you're here for drag racing talk, I'm going to give you 10 to 15 minutes of your life back. But if you would like to hear some really entertaining commentary from me and Jason, stay with us.
Yes.
Give us another 15 minutes of your time.
Because we're not all drag racing, as you know.
Because we're not. Because Jason is a music aficionado. He knows so much more about music. I have friends that are in the music industry. And last night I watched, I believe it was on HBO, the Yacht Rock documentary.
So great.
And let me tell you, it was fantastic because I didn't really know what Yacht Rock was. I had a guitar buddy that always talks up Toto. And I like Toto. I mean, Africa, Rosanna, I get it. But my eyes, it was like a 343 mile per hour run for me watching this documentary because so great, so influential. And I now have I always liked that music. And that was really like, every time I heard the songs, I felt good.
Yeah. Well, as you watch the documentary, you realize that there's a handful of guys that made all of that music.
Yes.
That there was maybe 30 guys that went around that were in every other band. Michael McDonald, obviously, Kenny Loggins, but they all played on everyone's record. That was the whole thing. Kenny or Michael McDonald, those guys had the sound that everybody wanted back then, and those guys played on everybody's thing.
And it was so cool that they were studio musicians in the 80s, and just like they did a deal where they're like, okay, the guys from Toto basically contributed to 2,000 or 3,000 songs.
Right.
I mean, like everything from Thriller to Alice Cooper, and then it was really cool to see I'm a huge Questlove fan.
Oh, yes.
So if Questlove is involved, full stop for me.
Yeah.
But to listen to him, and there was some other rapper that he's a one-name guy. Who is the one-name guy?
Common?
No, he had like a crazy name, like Jack Hammer or
I forget.
I can't. But he was talking about the influence of yacht rock into the rap world. And that was something that I had never made that connection. And it was so funny that just this whole that yacht rock was completely universal. Didn't matter demographics, music style, that they basically took music. If it sounds good, it's awesome.
Well, and to see those guys like Questlove and all the other rappers that are there, they I told the story a couple of weeks ago that in Norwalk, Joe and I and Hannah were in the Taco Bell line at 11 o'clock at night for 45 minutes, and we introduced Hannah to what yacht rock was.
Oh,
and Hannah's in that zone. She should know that. But like, I've taught my kids, listen, man, you like this guy, you like Taylor Swift, or you like whatever, you need to know who Michael Jackson was. You need to know who Led Zeppelin was, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And we go back. I mean, you need to know who James Brown is. My kids know who all these people are. And they listen to the music because that's what we listen to in the house. But there are people. Yeah, I get it. You just stay in your world.
Lane.
But you need to the music history of it all. Like my wife, I could bring her in here and she could school everybody on 70s and 80s rock. She knows in 60s rock. She knows who was in Cream, and then what Cream diverted into, and then what bands Rod Stewart was in before he got in. The Faces. Oh my God, listen to me go. It's like, but that's the stuff you need to know and appreciate all that stuff.
And it was great. Like it also, I'm fascinated by how songwriters and musicians write songs.
Yeah,
like iconic songs, like Sailing. Like Christopher Cross told the story about how he basically was in his kid's nursery and just out of the blue, essentially just sang the opening verse and the chorus of Sailing. Like just thought of it and then went and made the song. And then that song was not only, on his first record, but it was the album of the year. He was songwriter of the year. It was song of the year. And he was newcomer of the year.
Yeah.
And no one had ever done that before. And that was just like and they likened it to your rookie year of baseball. You win the Triple Crown and your rookie of the year. And then they're like, oh yeah, this has never happened before. And then, so this is like 1980, whatever. It never happened again until Billie Eilish did it in like 2014.
And say what you want about the music. You're like, oh yeah, well the music probably sucked back then, and that song sucks, whatever. You can't. I mean, it just depends on what era it is.
Right.
I mean,
but just the Michael and just how when I build my time machine, that's for sure a time that I'm going to go back and just hang out at those studios, because it truly was just like, Michael McDonald was just like, his phone hey, can you come to the studio today and sing with Michael Jackson?
Right.
Hey, can you come to the studio today? We're laying down some tracks for this deal. Or you're like the guitar guy and you just happen to be in the studio, and then, hey, we need you to contribute to this song.
Yeah.
And,
that's what Zeppelin was. Zeppelin, John Paul,
yes.
Those
Scott
guys
Malpass,
all
Thundercat. It was Thundercat. Thank you very much.
The
Thundercat did like iconic rap guy has got Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald on his stage at Coachella doing songs, and it's just like I undervalued Kenny Loggins.
Right. No, Kenny Loggins was great.
And the fact that he had a great body of work and then kind of got into the writing songs for movies deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's the one from Over the
Caddyshack.
Top? Oh, Caddyshack, Over the Top.
Over the Top. He did Caddyshack. He did Footloose.
Yeah.
I mean, Danger Zone. I mean, come on.
That's when Kenny Loggins first got going on. There's another documentary on HBO right now, the Billy Joel one.
Yes.
And I don't know if the second part has come out, but the first part
it has,
was
but I haven't watched the first
as
part.
well. The first one, if you're a Billy Joel fan, you need to watch this, because I'm a huge Billy Joel fan, and there was stuff in there that I didn't know. He tells the story about how he created Piano Man, which is just like unbelievable.
That's like a straight up autobiographical song about him, isn't it?
1000%.
Yeah.
He talked about how he had to get a job, and his record company was kind of screwing him, so he had to get a job. And the only place to get a job that people didn't really know him was this divey bar, and he was the piano guy. Yeah, it's so good. But to hear him tell it, and they go through it. But
and then
it's great.
Shout out to Joe Costello, my mafioso recommender. Put me on to Wise Guys, the David Chase Sopranos documentary.
Oh, okay.
So good. It is a little, it's not super actiony, but if you like the Sopranos, it's The Offer, which is I think an FX show with Miles Teller in it.
Yep.
Really good movie. It tells the story of the making of the Godfather movie. That is awesome. This with David Chase talking about the Sopranos. The Sopranos is basically based on his life, like people he knew.
Right.
And again, the way they talk about how they made the Sopranos is just fascinating as far as get writers in a room and they would just like come up with a story arc for every season and just the whole HBO mindset of doing TV. But it's really, really interesting if you want to kind of, again, see how the Sopranos came together. And they have interviews from everybody that was on the show.
Yeah, that's
like
awesome.
They have old stuff from James Gandolfini, Christopher Maldonado, all the people that are on the show are talking about how they got on the show and stuff. And it's super, super interesting.
Yeah, he gave us another one too. I forget something Nights, Alto Nights or something. I was watching.
Yeah, that's
that
the one where Robert De Niro
American.
plays two parts. I haven't watched that one yet.
Right. That's Joe Colombo and the other guy. That was pretty good. And I started watching that coming back, but I just fell asleep. There was no way. I was on a red eye.
So those are our recommendations. Our non-drag racing. Check out Yacht Rock documentary and check out Wise Guys, the David Chase Sopranos deal.
Yep. And if you want, have you guys? Has your wife finished up the Bear yet? Because I'm on season 4.
They haven't gotten on the Bear. I got on all these other things. WFO Joe's got me. I need to win the lottery so I can just get, basically shut it down and just start watching TV.
Yeah, the day this show goes off the air, you know that either Elon or myself have won the lottery, and we'll say goodbye to everybody. And
there'll be signs. There'll be signs that we win the lottery.
Huge signs. You're probably going to see my face on the top of a funny car, and I don't care how much it costs.
Right, for sure.
That's what.
Okay.
You're going to know that I won the lottery when you see my face on John Force's funny car.
So we're now live every Wednesday at noon Eastern.
Does that work for everybody? Is that okay?
That works for let us know noon Eastern live. Lunch with Life's a Drag. We may start doing a sandwich swap like Ted Lasso and Coach Beard. We can do that.
Yeah, that's good.
But I hope you enjoy this rendition. So next week we're open to. We got off weeks, so I got a big neighborhood party this coming Saturday. So I'll regale you with tales of the P2P Progressive Party next Wednesday. But if there's topics you want us to cover, racing or non-racing related, get them in there.
Yeah, and like we dodged the ticket renewal question.
Yeah,
we'll dodge it. We listen. Listen. We know things that go on, and there's certain things that we just can't talk about live on the air because again, it's not our story to tell. Somebody else has a plan, and it comes from one voice from the NHRA, and then we disseminate. You can speculate all you want, and we'll have fun with you with that. But all will be well. Okay.
Yes, it will be.
We're not going anywhere. We've got a TV contract that's being negotiated and trying to figure out that whole thing. And when that happens, and like we said, heavy hitters in Sonoma. People want to spend money with this sport.
Right, they do. And there's money to be spent, and there's money to be seen, and there's amazing talents and young drivers, all that stuff. So it'll be exciting. But we'll be back next Wednesday with more Life's a Drag.
Yeah. Again, big things are happening.
Big things are happening
behind the scenes. So don't.
And we'll be live. Next Wednesday we'll be live.
Yes. Well, weren't we live today?
We were live.
Okay. I was just saying.
We're gonna get a streak going live.
Yeah, we're going live from now on. All right, perfect. Ooh, let's see. Let's get the music playing. Click, share, ring the bell.
Yes,
the whole 9 yards. I'm
Follow
Jason
us on
Logan,
social media. Sign up for Drag Race Bracket Bonanza.
Yeah. That's Elon Warner. I'm Jason Logan. I'm going to go outside in 1,000-degree weather and send people off. And by the way, I broke a boat last night. We'll talk about that next week.
I want to hear about breaking boats.
Yeah, I'll do that next week. All right, guys. See you later. Have a great night.